Good morning, Hojo staff, students, and families. Yaatayabin, we're ready to start our day, so everybody please stand. Eyes are on the flag, voices are off, right hand is over my heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, November 16, and I hope you had a great weekend. We're ready to start our week with a new selection from Mrs. Neff. Now this piece is by Aaron Copland, who we have heard from before when we did Fanfare of the Common Man. Remember the deep percussion gong sounds? We'll play it again so you can remember. Aaron Copland, who has composed this piece, which is called Simple Gifts, and it comes from the ballet, Appalachian Spring. So Aaron Copland, Simple Gifts from the ballet, Appalachian Spring. So that's Aaron Copland, Simple Gifts from the ballet, Appalachian Spring. If you watch the video, it's a video of the ballet. Some of our students used to take ballet lessons. We used to have a lot of students who took ballet. Maybe you miss it, and it'd be nice to watch that. He does, one of the lyrics in that song, Simple Gifts, is, "It's a gift to be free." And that's something to keep in mind this week as we get ready to celebrate Thanksgiving next week. We won't be together for Thanksgiving, so we'll talk about it this week. But Thanksgiving was actually started as an official holiday by Abraham Lincoln during the middle of the Civil War when our nation was at its very worst. And he said it's a day to give thanks. It's a day to celebrate all that we have to be grateful for, which is hard to do when things are really hard. And we had a little scare on Friday thinking that maybe schools were going to be shut down, and we were able to keep coming to school. So we're grateful for that. We're grateful to be able to come to school, which leads me to our next thing is our art for the week. Remember we were studying Norman Rockwell and some of his paintings, one of which was Freedom from Want, which remember it looked like the Thanksgiving dinner. We'll show that again as we get ready to celebrate Thanksgiving next week. But something to be thankful for is being able to come to school. And we have this painting by Norman Rockwell, and it is the 50th, I believe, anniversary or the 60th anniversary, 60, 40, 20, 60th anniversary of this story about the true story of Ruby Bridges, a young first grade girl. She's an African American child who was not allowed to go to school because it was a school in her neighborhood in New Orleans for only white children. African American children and children of other colors were not allowed to go to school, which is a terrible thing. And then there was a court case which allowed Ruby Bridges to go to school, but in order for her to go, she had to be escorted by U.S. Marshals because people were afraid that some harm would come to this little child on her way to school, which is a terrible thing to think that our country was like that only 60 years ago. So here we have a picture that Norman Rockwell created of Ruby Bridges walking to school being escorted by the U.S. Marshals. This is what that looks like. And you can't see it, but there's a racial slur on the wall. Maybe you can see there's a tomato here that somebody had thrown because it was dangerous. People were really opposed at that time to students of all different colors going to school together. And I mean, our nation had had some trouble, obviously, and the Civil War was about that, about being divided over this issue, and about slavery and what it means to be free, and are all men created equal? And so we had a lot to learn and a lot of ways to grow. And sadly, this depicts something that was a little bit of, it was a tragedy at that time, but look how far we've come. Look how far we've come, and so we can be grateful for that students of all colors can come to school together, and that we can come to school during this pandemic. It's terrible. So next we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. The First Thanksgiving of All by Nancy Bird Turner is our poem for this week. Back when, at the time of Plymouth Plantation, many of the children had names such as peace, mercy, patience. That's how they were given those names. It was very common back then. And so in this poem, Nancy Bird Turner talks about some children named Peace, Mercy, Jonathan, and Patience in the first Thanksgiving. Peace and Mercy and Jonathan and Patience very small stood by the table giving thanks, the first Thanksgiving of all. There was very little for them to eat, nothing special and nothing sweet, only bread and a little broth, and a bit of fruit and no tablecloth. But Peace and Mercy and Jonathan and Patience in a row stood up and asked a blessing on Thanksgiving long ago. Thankful they were their ship had come safely across the sea. Thankful they were for hearth and home and kin and company. They were glad of broth to go with their bread, glad their apples were round and red, glad of Mayflowers they would bring out of the woods again next spring. So Peace and Mercy and Jonathan and Patience very small stood up gratefully giving thanks, the first Thanksgiving of all. Can you imagine coming to this country on a boat, taking several months to get here, and then when you get here it's just wilderness, there's no place to live, and so these were very courageous people and young children that were living there at the time. It's hard for me to think about that as a mom bringing a child across the ocean to a wilderness, but people had their convictions and they were brave. We do have a couple of birthdays to announce today. Zachary and Colin are having a birthday today. Happy birthday, Zachary and Colin. I hope you have a great day. We're still selling our wreaths, and those will be for sale. We're trying to collect orders so we know how many to make, and we're going to deliver them on December 2nd. So this week by Friday, if you would like a wreath, you don't have to pay now. You can pay on December 2nd when you pick it up. It's $20 for a small wreath and $30 for a larger one that is real. So we have an artificial one and a real one for sale. So that's all we have for announcements for today. So let's say our student pledge. I will do the good, I will learn the true, and I will love the beautiful. And I hope you have a great day.